Thanks for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. So, the new Zelda game has just launched. Well, they don't call it Zelda, they call it Hyrule Warriors. So, I find the game quite fun and interesting, and I want to answer the question, is this better? Is it different than the previous Hyrule Warrior games, or is it more of the same? And the short answer is yes, it is better. Yes, it is more of the same, but yes, it does many things differently that I enjoy. So the previous Hyrule Warriors game, I played that with a friend, but I didn't actually enjoy it all that much. So I try to maintain a degree of professionalism, especially when it comes to speaking and communication, but I have to use some technical terms in order to describe these games, and these technical terms are academic. They may seem like they are not, but there is a term that I use to describe the previous Hyrule Warrior games, and that term is bullshitty. And this game is significantly less bullshitty. What I find really engaging about the combat that we've just seen here as an example is you have to react to the enemies and their actions. There's a couple of different major attacks that enemies perform. There's one where they lunge, there's an attack where they jump and they approach from the air, and there are some other actions as well. But as you can see, when you hold your special skill menu open, the game slows down for a moment, and you can either pick, on my Y button here, you see I have Phalanx Thrust, which is a way to counter enemies that are lunging. You have your aerial counter, and you can stop enemies that are approaching from the air. And then you also have the shield one, which is for other situations. You have moments where enemies launch projectiles at you, and if you have the right equipment, the Zonai device, then you will be able to reflect their projectiles at them. I will open the menu here, and you can see that at any time you may change your equipment, which is very valuable. And the equipment this time is actually meaningful because these all have different mechanical functionality. They have elements which allow you to deal with different situations. There is some creativity and freedom in the way in which you can deal with enemies. And if we take a look at my ZR or ZR, if you're European or Australian or a Kiwi, you can see that I can use that fan, and it uses up battery. Now I can cancel that and then save my battery, or I can set the item down, and it continues consuming battery, but it allows you to use that Zonai device on the field, and you can continue your attacking. Now, what is so important in a game like this is the responsiveness of the control for your character. This game is a very fast-paced action game, and you need to be able to respond to the situation and what the enemies are doing, and being able to cancel your attacks by dodging is very important. But you can also cancel your attacks by holding open your special skills and selecting one of your special skills in order to deal with enemies. So you never feel sluggish or locked in to your attacks. You know, you have your combo strings. You never feel locked in, and you always feel like you are prepared to react to the enemy's actions. And it is important to react to the enemy's actions. Now, I am not able to see where I'm supposed to go here because I can't see my map. So let me just get out of the way here. Okay, straight ahead. And we're back. And this battle system so far has been very engaging. There have been moments where I was playing as, there's Robot Link, right? He's not Link, he's a Robot Link, so I'll just call him Rink. So I'm playing as Rink and a Korok and Captain Goatee. And the boss that I was fighting was actually quite challenging, and he was dealing significant damage. And I was in a situation where I actually had to keep switching between my characters because they had different resources. They had different abilities, and say, for example, the enemy was performing his dangerous lunge maneuver, and I thought, oh, I'm playing as Rink, I'll just counter him. And I opened Rink's menu, and I saw that Rink doesn't actually have an ability at that point in time in gameplay. He didn't have an ability to counter the enemy's lunge attack. So you can actually hold that button and you can switch to another character, and it will keep the game in this slow motion mode, and you can access that. So it's very responsive and it lets you react to the enemies. It's very well designed and well considered from a design philosophy standpoint. I really like the mechanics of that. What I did not like about the previous Hyrule Warriors game, Age of Calamity, is that it was very bullshitty, and it didn't really matter what you did, it didn't matter how you played, and you didn't really need the other characters in there. You could bullshit your way through battles, and I've never was in a position in that game where I thought that I needed to put in effort or thought. I could just mash the buttons and win. And if I ever found that I was having some difficulty, then I could just use the elemental items and spam them. And that's fun if you just want to chill, a chill experience or what have you. But I didn't find it all that engaging. Now this character here, okay, I will order that character to go there, and then I will resume my task as this character. And in this game, I feel like I'm not able to spam or to cheese the game in any particular way yet. And the resources are limited by your batteries. To use your Zonai devices, you consume battery, and of course you can refill your batteries, and you can, I'm certain at some point you will be able to increase the maximum capacity of your batteries, but it constantly feels like I'm using a Game Gear. You know, I play it for a couple minutes. Oh, it's a projectile. I needed to use a, dodge that. I needed to use a fan, so I need to remember where I have my fan equipped. Okay, so I may just wait here. And in this, I feel like I need to be careful with my resources, so it feels like I'm being rewarded for playing well. It feels like I should be thinking about the battle system. I should be thinking about the situation. So, oh, he's going into the air. I was able to perceive that in time, and I'm able to catch him. The game gives you enough time to react to the enemies while not feeling like it's holding your hand and treating you like a little baby. And that is a problem that some of these games have, is sometimes they're just a little too mechanically simple, a little too hand-holdy, and too bullshitty. And the previous Hyrule Warriors games was very bullshitty. You didn't really have to pay attention. And so a friend and I, we really enjoyed playing the first Hyrule Warriors game, and for some reason we just didn't have that much fun with the second Hyrule Warriors game, and partly has to do with how bullshitty it was, in that we found we didn't really need to think that much about the game, and why play a game if you don't even need to think about it, you know? I appear to have something here that I've not seen before. They wish to grant me a voucher of some kind. Sure. Actually, I kind of prefer... I see. I actually quite like these sync attacks. They're implemented in an interesting way. They are cool. They actually help, and it's neat to see the characters do cool moves. So they have charged. You can grant yourself bonuses by cooking at camp, by consuming items. Say, for example, I'll use a bit of this, a little bit of this. That increases the attack charge rate, but I don't really want that right now. I'll eat a bit of steak. You can see my experience gain goes up by 9%. If we add a bit of wood, you can see it boosts that effect. You know what? I have a fair bit of that. I'll just go ahead and supply that. And now my experience gain goes up. And so this is interesting. I really, really am enjoying the mechanical complexity and the synergy between the different game mechanics. I like that these have their own purposes that are useful in very specific situations. I like that you can change your equipment at any time by pausing like this. You can see that there is room for more unique skills and picking up items. I have a maximum of 3 for each of those right now. I find I'm not really using the items much at the moment, but I'm certain that at some point in the future I will have need to do so. Let's go ahead and find a situation where we can use... Why is this character... Is it because I'm going through mud? Is that why I'm slow here? I see. I'm traversing quite slowly. Where do they want me to go? Where would they like me to go? It appears as though I will be facing a new enemy, a sludge like. Interesting. This is like a like. It's like a like, but it's a sludge-like. How fascinating. Let's figure out how to defeat this enemy. It's interesting playing as the different characters because they have their fun mechanics. It's interesting going up against different enemies. So far in this game, the different enemies have given me a reason to play a little bit differently, to think a little bit differently. We have our sync attack ready. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Oh, I can aim this. How fun. Now I may play as a Zora character. I do really like the animations for those. Very neat. Let's see what this character can do. Now, he is protected by sludge. I wonder what the correct way to deal with that is. Let's go ahead and try and frost this guy and see what happens. Oh, he's performing a lunge maneuver. I can counter that. And now I have stunned him. I may perform my weak point attack. Oh, he is a fun little fella. He's a fun little fella. Look at him. That is... Okay, so he appears to be ejecting some sort of projectile. If I use a character with a fan, I believe I can reflect that at him. Let's go ahead and put my fan out. And it looks like I was able to reflect that projectile back at him. Now I must eat his pie. And this is fun. I like switching through the different characters. And you reach a moment where there's a flow state where you know exactly where all the special attacks are. I received a new Zonai device, which is quite fun to see these. It's quite rewarding to use new ones. And you give different equipment to different characters, and you reach a flow state where you can just quickly switch between your different characters who have different equipment, and you're swapping back and forth. You're using different Zonai devices and different attacks, and it's very satisfying. And there's never been a moment like that I've experienced in other Hyrule Warrior games. So this one is significantly more interesting. It's significantly more mechanically rewarding to engage with. And I find that I can tell I'm going to enjoy this game for a long time. And I don't like being negative, but I didn't feel that way about the previous Hyrule Warriors game. I only played it because I wanted to just hang out with a friend of mine. So we were playing the game, we were enjoying it. The first game we really enjoyed. We had a lot of fun with the first Hyrule Warriors game because it was silly and bombastic and big, and there was a lot of fun characters. Let me go ahead and assign my new Zonai device. But in Age of Calamity, we didn't have that kind of fun. The game took itself way too seriously. And it just, again, was bullshitty. You could bullshit your way through the game. And in this one, I can see that you are rewarded for paying attention to the game. You are rewarded for playing well. And there are opportunities to actually play well, as opposed to just bullshitting your way through it. So that is how I feel about this game so far. I'm a little bit disappointed. I just unlocked Typhon, Captain Goatee, and he doesn't do anything cool, unfortunately. Now, I like the character because, oh, you can set up camp in a base. I understand that now. I'm learning more. I understand that there is a mechanical reason for capturing bases. Now you can set up camp here. I like that very much. So I'm a little disappointed that Captain Goatee is so boring gameplay-wise, because I saw him, he resonated with me because I thought this is a character that I will be able to cosplay very easily as. I've got a white bedsheet, wrap that over the shoulder, put on a belt. You've done it. You are Captain Typhon. But gameplay-wise, he doesn't really do anything. So far, that's the only thing that's disappointed me. Now, there's a mission. I do need to unlock Purple Swoop, so I will be unlocking that new character shortly after this one. So, I see. So I have an attack that naturally generates water. Is that correct? And I have cleared the sludge out here. I do like that. Interactivity. Now, my favorite character so far is the Korok. He's very interesting, and his attack chains allow him to access different elements. In the first Hyrule Warriors game, I really enjoyed playing as Sheik because you needed to remember the attack chains in order to access different elements with Sheik's attacks. In that same vein, you have to remember the Korok's attack chains to access different elements, and I find that very rewarding. That's very fun. It's also very cool. This man is performing what I believe is a lunge attack. Fantastic. You know what? Let's just set that Zonai device there. We'll set it down just for fun. And keep damaging him. So you can maximize the amount of damage and the pie eating by using your Zonai devices. This is not something that you found in the previous Hyrule Warrior games. I just want to see this attack. Let's see what this looks like. Fantastic. So fun. My favorite character so far is the Korok. He's very cool. I've upgraded his equipment a bunch. And I will be playing as him mostly. I like that so far in the story there are two different groups. You have Zelda's group, and then you have Robot Link's group, Rink. And so far in the story, they haven't really converged. They're taking on different missions. At some point, I'm certain they will converge. So that's what I wanted to share with you, considering the game. This has been so interesting. This has been a lot of fun. And I look forward to playing this, but I'm very busy with my own game development work. So I will be making progress on this very slowly. Oh, I picked the wrong move. I picked the wrong one, and that's my fault. I should have reacted differently to that. Okay, ouch. Now, I will get back to work. So take care of yourselves, be well, and we'll see you next time. Be well.